Я так просыпался часто после пьянки. Ходил примерно так же. Я могу сгореть. Могу. Ой, бать. Шо там? Пить хочу, пить. Пить. А, это типа его жена. А он только пить хочет и кушать. Ай, кушать ее. Ням-ням-ням. А,
Mary. No.
да,
Mary.
да нормально, она потом станет просто вампиром.
Hold on.
Будем вечно.
Please, hold on. Mary.
My dear brother. Зато похавал. Какая моральная дилемма, типа, не хавать местных жителей, если ты уже сестру схавал? То есть, как бы, хуже быть не может.
No. Please, a moment. Let me explain.
Пидорасы, а? Да я жопу чешу, сейчас бежать надо, да? Побежали.
After me. No, no, don't shoot.
Не стреляйте.
This is a
Я
nightmare.
свой.
I need to get out of here.
Да она сама напросилась. Говорила, вставь меня в свои зубы. Я так этого хочу. Не надо. Да, пидорас,
I mean you
ёбаный.
no harm.
Пошел нахуй. Быстрее я бежать не могу. Я так и представляю, как вот человек, которому надо, ну, типа,
Oh, Mary.
который хочет жить, и в него стреляют, он бежит с такой скоростью. Что, братан? Надо Атаки в ближнем бою. Блять. А, на бочку атаки, я понял. I can defend myself. Ну, сейчас. Что такое? Не надо. Пошел нахуй. Пидор. You left me no choice. Стамина восстанавливается. Вот это что? А, это дэш. Это дэш такой. Окей, так, пришло. Так, это мы деремся. А как присесть? Кнопка прыжка и приседания не предусмотрена, я понял. Пошел нахуй. Ой. Петрила. Бана. Простите, как говорится. Сейчас мы его подкараулим, смотри. А, ну да. Да пошел ты. Нахуй. Блять, пошел нахуй. А, смотри, ХП уже теперь есть, типа, штучка. Все, уходим отсюда. Ой, здрасте. Долбоёб.
Listen to me. I can't make any sense of this. Shut up, beast! Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's name? I'll do the rest of the job. Just leave me.
Я считаю, что определенные элементы, в том числе огонь, наносит повышенный, снижает вам максимальный уровень. Да я пробовал в бочку, блять, головой засунуться, не было урона. Не пизди. Кстати, хорошая идея для игроделов инди-дриси. Короче. Ой, бля, что-то мне кажется он... Нет, нет, нет! Сосать. А, бег. Нихуя себе, бег все-таки есть в этой игре. Ничего себе. Вот это технологии. Так вот, для всех игроделов гениальная, короче, идея. Сделаем всех инди-дрисневых персонажей вампирами, чтобы рисовать только ночью, короче. Левел дизайн упрощается в разы, если ночью просто черное на черном можно сделать. Нихуя не видно, охуеваешь от жизни и все. Вот. Шиллинги, ебать. Это что? А, это по сюжету надо было посмотреть. Здесь жил какой-то дед с бабкой. Или это я? Я ее схавал. Ну, она же должна быть.
Mary! Mary! Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
I will find them. Вот, кот съели. Давно съели, судя по всему. Или она такая при жизни страшная была.
Wait, this one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Go watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy the shadow takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give me these.
An undertaker is a busy man. For he and death go hand in hand. И чё, часы можно будет время останавливать? Можно в квартире бегать? О, можно в доме бегать. Бутылка алкоголя, это нам надо. Крафт, наверное, будет. Как же такая классная игра и без крафта-то? Так, ну тут, я так понимаю, это дальше выйти на улицу, где меня в рот ебать будут. Идем на второй этаж, изучим все. Не торопясь. Вот тут, например, есть книжная полка, на которой есть книжки, но он их читать не хочет. Тут можно руки помыть, но ему не надо. Зеркало, меня, наверное, не будет в зеркале видно. Или видно. Понимаю. Who goes there?
Who's there?
Ну и урод.
Are you referring to me?
А, его типа укусали самого?
No,
Что?
no. I still have so much to accomplish.
Что?
I still have so much left that needs doing.
So much left that needs doing. Шиллинги. Ой, бать сидит. Наелся и спит. Это нам надо, да? Заберем. Дедуль, ты как? Дедусь. Нормально? Правильно. О! Игра перестает быть томной.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now!
No. There's time. I can save him.
That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital!
Done. He'll live. And now what? We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing.
По факту.
No, it never got easy.
Старый. Почти не спал. Бекки кашлял и бредил в лихорадке. Утром я услышал громкий шум. Ой. Ой. Можно спать. Нихуя себе в этой игре.
This makes no sense. None of it.
Я надеюсь, сон восстанавливает здоровье, да ведь?
It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it.
Правильно, можно просто застрелиться, и игра закончена, и чтоб платину сразу дали. Какое-то странное место для выстрела, ну, тебе виднее, братан. Ныне и присный во веки веков. Найти убежище и отдохнуть. Отдохнуть. Вампир.
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Развитие. А отставать в развитии можно? Если нет, то минус балл. В убежищах вы можете отдохнуть и развить навыки, чтобы повысить. Чтобы повысить свой уровень и улучшить вампирские навыки, вам придется тратить опыт. Вы расходитесь. Ой. А может не надо? А если не хочу? Меня не спросили. Ага. Но при этом нельзя... А, уровень 6 нет. Ну да. А вот, смотри. Когти. Удар в ближней дистанции, который наносит урон всем живым существам. Вы бросаете созданное из крови копье, которое проходит сквозь всех врагов перед вами. Хуета. Вы размещаете теневое облако у своих ног или у ног цели через декоративное облако. Наносит большой урон. Это нам надо. А все, больше ничего вкачать нельзя. Как бы укус повышает урон от укусов. Ай, а все Ой, короче, ок. Типа так объясняется, что его убить нельзя. То есть если его убьют, он проснется у себя в комнате.
If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Ходить начал, а бегать нельзя. Все. Добраться до северного берега. Но если я буду так всю игру ходить, я не, блядь... А, ладно. А пистолет... А, ну пистолет в сделку не входил, я понял.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Well.
Here's the leech. Here!
А? Мусор? Хорошо. Спасибо. Очень все прекрасно. Молодец.
My head's spinning. It's locked.
Понял. Старый кол. А, то есть, наверное, чтобы наносить удар оружием для левой руки, нажимаете это. Я понял.
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End. Go back home.
Die, vermin!
Понял тебя. Подожди, да, я на тебе. Укус.
strength I never knew I had.
Придется. Здорово. А, наебали. Да. А чё меня зас... А, у меня... Блядь. Ну, я понял. Средний уровень сложности. Отстань от меня, пожалуйста. Средний уровень сложности был плохим. Расходует кровь. Блять, а чё их так много-то? Ой, толстый какой-то.
Reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
Рефлексы, конечно, да. Туду. 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 Что это? Книжка. Да, явно будет крафт. Конечно же. Как вообще без крафта? Это что, полис? Вот тот мерчант сервис, я понял. Стабильное состояние. Поспать, может, можно тут. Ты нужен королю и стране. Вступай в армию, помоги храбрецам на фронте.
If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us.
Точно заплатит. Сейчас мы всех... Ой, что-то чел тут сдох. А тут это что? Ой, крыска. А, крысу можно?
Thirst for blood.
Шиллинги, заебись. Еще крыска.
Ням-ням-ням-ням-ням-ням-ням.
А я могу believe. Дверь заперта.
It's locked, all right.
Я уверен. It's locked, all right.
It's locked.
А чё это не it's locked, all right? Ты шо? Две фразы знаешь? А, она, наверное, просто обрезанная первая. То есть они типа it's locked, all right, а потом с той же интонацией просто it's locked обрезали. То есть он записал одну фразу.
Dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. I cannot enter.
Да, это я заметил, что ты cannot enter.
It's locked, all right.
Нахуя вы сделали двери, которые нельзя открыть? Нахуя?
This is despicable.
Удачи. Что есть? Ничего. А, это орлиное зрение. свои деньги. Это ж тупо. Если так подумать. 13 метров, возможно, мы
What
прошли.
will London have to say to me?
Что мне скажет
It's locked.
Лондон?
I've so many questions unanswered.
Такой, конечно, дешевый прием, типа играть за челика, который нихуя не помнит.
Another corpse. Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum?
Ну, это очень крови много. Сейчас скажется, что это его брат.
The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it.
Всю кровь выпили, но я ее по-прежнему чую. А
I
вон там.
follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant.
Fresh blood. The smell is so strong.
Что-то красное вижу.
Where has everyone gone?
Идти по следу. Хавать. Я надеюсь, они респаются. Если мне придется сюда еще раз ходить. Время плюс новое убежище. Открыть карту в этой игре есть. Ебать, она большая. Ой, а это что? Основное меню гаража. Ага. Столб. О, дрочит правая рука, дрочит левая рука. Прекрасно. Огнестрельный я его теперь квикнуть не могу. Так, ну тут отдыхается. О, тут крафтится. Может, накрафтим сейчас. Лекарства, сыворотки. Детальное улучшение оружия. Я не понял, как его пользоваться, поэтому не буду. А вот кол надо было улучшить. Нету. Нихуя, как обычно. Это тоже нихуя не будет, да. Я понял. Как бы есть, но как бы и пошел нахуй. Спусковой механизм. Старый дом. Не знаю, часы разобрать, если они нужны. Сейчас прыгну, я умру.
That's strange. The trail is very erratic, as if the killer was drunk or hesitant. At last, a little life.
Welcome, sir, to the Church.
Здорово.
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get what's coming to them.
Good evening, sir. I wondered if I could ask for your help.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
Has anybody entered the bar recently?
Can't say. Sorry. I spent the night making love to that gorgeous bottle, see?
This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
I don't know and I don't care. This is a free country. People still have the right to come and go, don't they?
What's going on around here? It's like everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not heard about the murders? Everybody fears the return of the sewer dog.
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades. You murdered someone, blame the sewer dog, eh?
You make it sound like it's a fairy tale.
People will always believe in monsters. It's easier than accepting their own darkness. We can all be monsters.
Я хочу быть монстром,
I'll leave you to your bottle then.
Я так понимаю, я могу.
My God, sir, you look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any leads on a suspect?
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
Заебись. Это мне нравится, что тут можно хавать.
Where am I? Where is this place?
You're at my bar, sir, the Turquoise Turtle. The last ray of light in this dangerous part of town.
Aren't you scared?
Scared of what? All the bad shit happens out on the foggy streets. And I never go outside.
So you're open all night?
Yep. Figured people might need a place to rest in these dark times.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person I've seen went straight up to his room. Thought it was kind of rude, actually.
You mean he's still here?
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
How long has he been here?
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
Who is this man? What does he look like?
Like a gentleman, I guess. Well-dressed, quite polite. Professor or something fancy like that. Always writing, reading notes.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Yes?
no funny business. You hear me? This is a respectable establishment.
No funny business.
I've never even been to India. Hello, sir. Are you alright? Is there any way I can help you?
I don't know. Maybe you could just talk to me.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom, then. He's more agreeable talking to strangers.
What's going on around here? Where is everyone?
Too many dead, sir. First the epidemic, now all these terrible murders.
The murders. What can you say about them?
Bodies found in the streets every morning. Drained of blood. It's just horrible. Some say the sewer dog is back.
The sewer dog? What's that?
No one knows. People have always disappeared around these parts. The ancients say it's the sewer dog coming out to feed. But now he's killing in the streets.
What have you heard about the epidemic?
There's a Spanish flu. Yeah. Killed so many last summer. Thought we'd seen the last of it. Dozens dying every week.
Are the authorities doing anything?
Nothing. There are so many quarantine zones in London now. It's gotten really hard to travel across town.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
Я тебя съем.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Что?
Most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. But with the murders and all,
Ты же знаешь, что некоторое время нужно на то, чтобы охладилось помещение. Как и в прошлый раз было.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
Сейчас
I'm not
оно
afraid,
перестало нагреваться, главное,
It's
до
just
такой
I've other
степени,
customers
оно
to
сейчас
take care
будет
of.
I
потихоньку
only see
остывать.
one customer.
oh,
Ну, сделай нам
well, yeah,
бутерброды.
of course. I mean, I best check on them.
I'll leave then. Thank you.
Да, я просто стримлю как очередной кал.
It's a good thing we cannot see me now.
Я помыла посуду, и потом у меня вся спина сзади мокрая.
Да, это вода или
Нет,
пот?
это пот. У меня столько жарко.
Poor Jack.
Да.
He didn't deserve this.
А могу ее съесть? Не могу. Не, ну это, конечно, жалко, что я не могу это. Я бы ее хотел скушать. Вот это. Видишь, у нее сердечко. Ничем не болеет. Количество крови. 1500 опыта дают за нее. Вкусненькая.
Хочешь банан?
Банан. Я творог заказал.
А,
Творог привезут. Сделаем с бананом, клубникой, сливками и черешней. Потому что, короче, черешни не было. А мне же там 250 грамм нужно. И черешни не было, и поэтому эту черешню мы просто съедим. Можешь, кстати, ее есть уже сейчас.
хочу, я не люблю.
Правда?
Who's roaming the area? They do not pursue me. They're looking for vampires. They're looking
Да, его укусили, и теперь он ест тоже, должен кушать. И в зависимости от того, какого уровня горожанин, ты, типа, хаваешь больше или меньше. И чем больше ты схаваешь людей, тем больше ты можешь
Slowly,
уровень.
vampire. Who are you?
Ой,
I mean you no harm. Say it, the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word.
что такое?
Anyone.
Что надо будет? Да.
Well, that's
Я
something I can
2
do
раза
for you.
не повторяю ошибок. Так часто. Клубнику я слышу. Мы съедим все сегодня. Я там все сделаю. Сейчас приедет чертильник.
And who might you be?
Кто же я такой? А я могу его просканировать, когда в диалоге сижу? Я не знаю, я не скажу сначала.
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire.
Что? Конечно. Сразу все помыло, молодец.
Быстрее, когда это вспомнить, как было, особенно когда ее нету.
Ну да, ну всего неделю.
Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docs have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
Ну. Ой, да, это заебало эти теории заговора.
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
And what exactly is this brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
Perhaps. This is all new to me. I'm not even certain what I'm looking for.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
Это можно просто. Мне нужнее. Какой мужчина.
I'm certain we shall meet again.
Ладно, пойду.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
I think Trino understood.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something.
Если я попробую открыть вот эту дверь.
It's locked, all right.
Понял.
We think we cannot see me now, Mum.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Необходима подсказка.
I think you're hiding something from me.
I hide many things from many people, sir. That's what my job's about.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Может быть... Я могу ее съесть.
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
I have a few questions for you.
Well, if you must.
I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for. Now, I want the truth.
The truth. What do you mean?
I suspect that someone else was here tonight, and I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor we had.
I can feel your fear, madam. Please tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop. He came in here earlier tonight and he... Well, I thought he was going to clock someone.
What happened tonight?
He was dead drunk, as usual. My God, his eyes, his face. He must have caught something awful. He shouted and cried. It was terrible.
Добро.
Why are you so afraid?
I mean, his skin, his hands. I scrubbed every glass and every chair that he touched. God, I hope it's not contagious.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor. I'll be sure to talk to Tom.
You again. What can I do for you?
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
Why lie to me if he is not your friend?
I didn't lie. I said you were my only unannounced customer, and that's the truth.
Who is he?
William, just an old sailor who loves his gin too much. He worked for years at the canning factory before it closed.
Is he dangerous?
Yeah. Like many drunks, he's all bark and no bite. Can barely stand up most of the time.
How was he tonight? Was he different?
Sicker than usual, perhaps. He whined and mumbled about how mean people were to him and how he'd like to talk to me outside, and then he left when I refused.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What do you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
Куда? Не сюда. А сюда. А это, наверное, просто... Ага.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city?
Ну, к ним не заглядывает полиция. Это, мне кажется, хорошая вещь. Ебать, это не он ли?
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. What's this? Some sort of note.
А, они типа
These
искали его,
men,
нашли меня.
they're a company of professional vampire hunters. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker.
Сейчас я доем. Я чувствую, будет босс-файт. Погнали.
There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Ага. Тут никакого стелса. О! Да. Или нет, оставь. Пожалуйста. На, мразь! И схавать его. Говно ты собачье. Чё на сдох? Охотник дерьма. Охотник. Ой, нет.
I cannot enter.
I've only been part of the guards 3 weeks to the day. All the more reason to shut it, Mr. Willie. I'd step back, sir.
Да-да, я степбэк. Подходи. Подойди. Чё ссышь? Подойди. Подойди. Не ссы. Ну иди сюда. Пидорас, а. А я кровь трачу, да. Пошел нахуй. С one of them, как говорится.
It's locked. I cannot enter.
Так как бы... тут была штучка. Говно для крафта.
It's locked, all right.
Я так понимаю, надо будет крафтить хилки для горожан, которые будут в более зараженных районах. И там, типа, им надо будет, чтобы их хавать, их надо будет лечить. Да. Сурово. Я понял. Ой, Рафаэлка, спасибо. Некоторые враги устойчивы к определенным видам урона. Они помечены с 4 видами. Физический ближний урон, дальний бой, магический, кровь, тень. Оранжевый цвет означает среднюю устойчивость, красный цвет означает... Ага. Стрелок. Да блять. Кройся, нахуй. На характере. О, нихуя. Бля, я не прочитал. Блять. Да ты не видишь меня. Бля, их двое. Да что же вы такие? А, ну да, ты же можешь стрелять через стену. Респект. Ты сам такой, блядь. Ну, я открыл новые методы, новая тактика, он их не открывает. Ну, короче, да. Как говорится, идите, чтобы развить на вы. Старая. Интересно, если я побегу, он меня услышит? А, да, он меня услышит, да. Мне надо, блядь, ходить еле-еле. Ну да. Ебаться в этой игре как бы нахуй надо, правильно? Правильно. Чел что ли бегает, какой-то информация. Блять. Смотри, сколько людей. Это. А, это один район. Доктор, это говорит дерьма. А это кто? Да, бабу я бы съел с удовольствием эту. Так, это мы больше качать не будем. Повышает урон от укусов. О, это нам надо оба. На самом деле зря выкинули этот самый бутылку из-под Малибу. Она бы могла туда. Ну да, я сам тогда не знал. Ой. Квиточек. Что?
It's locked. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me...
Что? Ну, отлично. А эти вон возьми другую какую-нибудь. Да, можешь взять.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Какая кринжовая драка, конечно.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
О! Сильная женщина, как без меня.
Skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe so. I already have.
Oh.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened.
Что? Что, тупые ножницы? Ой-ой-ой. Жалко, это были мои любимые ножницы. Это все ножницы старые у меня новых нет. Я еще вырезалкин, что ли, блядь, самоделкин какой-то, чтобы у меня были новые ножницы, еще что-то. Странно, вообще хризантемы вроде должны были быть не молодые. Ну ладно.
To William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
У меня в бабушке росли пионы, и в них постоянно ползали всякие жуки стрёмные. Никогда бы не купил пиона, если бы ты не хотел. Кринжоны.
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. This poor creature can't be my maker.
Что?
Could it be some...
Что? Ну да. Ну куда хочешь поставь.
species of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Что такое?
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work,
Что?
I am the administrator of...
Что? И чвач, вач.
Купить вазу и цветочки вставить.
И чвач.
Ну не было и чвач, я нормально говорила. Сам пришел.
Что ты злишься-то? Не злись.
Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. First and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself. Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Marvelous.
I attended 3
Вампир.
of your seminars before the war.
Как вампир, только через...
Admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Then let me be blunt.
Бля...
Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital.
Минуты 2 или 3, если честно, уже я заебался. Ну, типа, я не плыву, чтоб ты понимал, я же не управляю этой хуетой, я просто сижу и разговариваю. Ну, то есть ничего не делаю. Я можешь отмотать стрим назад, там прекрасная боевка. Великолепно.
Take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night. For your absence during daylight hours.
Ну, я думал, будет хуже. Я выбрал нормальный уровень сложности, и меня всего лишь один раз почти выебали. Но ни разу не выебали.
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book. The beginning of a beautiful.
У меня не было выбора, как ты видел. То есть меня спросили, типа, ну ты хочешь работать со мной в больнице или нет? И я такой, давай.
Thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have.
Ну, хотя бы меня
We
одели.
haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions,
У меня одного впечатления, что пальто сняли с челика из Deus Ex.
We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Или у него был плащ. А это может тоже плащ. Нет, это пальто. А, ебать, его приодели. Вот так вот бывает, просто садишься кому-то в лодку. Так, то есть туда, я так понимаю, ну тут можно поговорить, но не надо. А, здоровое состояние, заебись, значит можно их съесть. Ой-ой-ой. Нож в печень, никто не вечен. Здорово, братан.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
Повежливей со
Insulting a
мной.
good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Как говорится, в ножевой драке победителей не бывает. Качество крови, кажется, то, что сколько минут. Чем выше качество, тем больше опыта вы получите, наверное, продавано. Чтобы выпить кровь человека, сначала нужно синтезировать его и вывести подальше на стороне глаз. Если ваш уровень гипноза равен уровню сопротивления жертвы или превосходит его, вы можете получить контроль над ее разумом. Нажмите L1, чтобы загипнотизировать клея. Я тебя трахну.
Что за игра? Все как ты любишь. Любоёвка хуйная, конечно. Две кнопки.
На самом деле не 2, а 3 есть кнопка, нет, даже 4. Кнопка оглушения, кнопка удара, кнопка укуса и кнопка уворота. Вот, 4 кнопки. Искушение крови. Нажмите X, чтобы объять клея Кокса или нолик отпустите. Объяв его, вы получите много единиц опыта. Но помните, это велик определенным последствиям. Чем больше вы узнаете о горожанах, чем больше собираете связанных с ними подсказок, тем больше полученный опыт. О, ну я даже не знаю. Ты бы выпил кровь? Что именно? Просто ты, когда пьешь кровь, у тебя ты получаешь опыт и в общем можно левелапнуться.
Больше узнаю о нем или забей хуй. Механика дерьма.
Ну да. Ладно, отпустим его. Работяга простой. Нет, отпускаем. А он меня не слушается. Отпустить. А, чтобы продолжить. Отпустить.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Ебать, он в нашу стену впилился. А можно с ним поговорить? Все, иди своей дорогой. Ну, я думаю, что, типа, в идеале вообще никого не надо жрать. Мне нужнее. Ой, ебать. Охотник.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
А я могу ее загипнотизировать. Прям сейчас. А еще я могу сделать медосмотр ей.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
А, я типа...
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Можно ходить и предлагать людям медосмотр. Это, я считаю, классная игра, уж плюс балл.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Timmons. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limit.
Могу провести медосмотр и дать повестку.
Не, мне больше нравится, что можно провести медосмотр женщине. Как говорится, скиньте фото, я осмотрю.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some content.
Можно просто подходить, особенно к женщинам пожилого возраста, и говорить: я гинеколог, давайте вас осмотрим. Задать личный вопрос. Понял.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Call me if you want. Call me if you need. Да пошла нахуй. Вот тут дырка есть в заборе. А, нельзя. Плакат. Не выходите на улицу. Ковид. Не выходите на улицу. А, это можно туда пойти. Это что, открытый мир, что ли? Ой. Как, блядь, окей. Уайтчепел. Вест-Энд. Северные доки, западные доки. Доки-хуёки. А интересно пересоздать маркер. Быстрое перемещение в этой прекрасной игре есть? Или нахуй надо? Пойдем погуляем. Ебать, они там 10 уровня, ну нахуй. Инфлюенса стоит холм, я и так вижу. Тут чел отдыхает. Это что? Блять, ну был же X. А, плюс все вроде. Вкусно. Call me if you want. Call me if you need. 9 уровень, 10 уровень. Ай, батин прям. Ну смотри, этого я... А, блядь, он там ходит.
Они же этот спиной стоит или нет? Вроде бы спиной. Я понял, блять, шутка, шутка, не трогай, пощади. Я пошутил. Не трогай, не души. Брат, у тебя зона должна быть, ты должен уже пойти назад. Иди домой. Вот, все, домой. Домой.
Укус часть папа снял.
Да, да, да. Кайф. Там доктор. Доктор Айболит? Он под деревом сидит.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any
Доктор
better
Триппер.
news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
И чел, который наносит 50 дамага челу с 1000, да, походу, хп. Поинтересоваться жизнью в Лондоне. Вы измотаны.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Хорошего вечера, котик. Что-то я совсем сегодня не выспался.
Тебе прекрасного вечера, хорошо поспать и играть только в хорошие игры, а не как я. Сестра беспокоится, у себя не нужно ничего доказывать.
Алое сердце.
Алое сердце.
And we all praise your experience. Please have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
Да ты заебал, долбоёб.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody. And we all praise your experience. Please have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
А, то есть я теперь уже не могу другой вариант диалога выбрать. Но при этом игра не дает мне... А, о, можно. Я нашел, как пропускать диалоги. Игра стала немножко лучше. Сейчас везде так, люди гораздо важнее.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Жестко.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up.
Да подожди.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Все нормально, тетя, я тут.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left for Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
I really hope
Goodbye,
he
nurse.
doesn't.
Call me if you need assistance.
Call me if you need, call me if you want, call me in the morning, call me all you want. Ничем не болеет. Неизвестно. А я типа могу... Сколько экспы? 3000. 3000 экспы. В связи с эпидемией, инфлюенцией местная, пожалуйста, возвращайтесь.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded
хуй
man by the
пососать не
docks.
хочешь?
He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Можно челика завести просто и съесть куда-нибудь сюда. А бля, он ушел. А бля, мы и не думали.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
О, не зря мы собирали шиллинги. Как здесь обстоят дела? Бля, сейчас ногу почешу.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing in. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Полночь в саду добра и зла.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Ну, короче, будем знать, что у черта есть всякое.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
So many deaths. And what of my own life?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
Pippa, блядь!
Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position.
Ебать, там сосочка какая ходит.
It's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe this situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
А Милтон все. Ой, это кто?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening.
А, понятно.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
А, я же могу свою хуйню юзать, чтобы читать, кто это. Это Пипа, я с ней уже разговаривал. Гвинет, я с ней тоже разговаривал. Здравствуйте, друзья.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Бля, ее схавать надо.
Describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
больная баба совершенно.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it's such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've
Ну,
recently
лоб
taken
довольно
the position
большой.
of head surgeon here.
А так,
War injuries,
вроде.
am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Кто? Это тот
Good
чел.
evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sorry, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Dooth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognise Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. Then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Вообще бесполезный разговор абсолютно.
It's locked.
All right. Блин, ее только за 1200 можно схавать, ничего себе. Так дешево, пиздец. С Дороти мы общались. Надо с этим. Вот этот идет, он сейчас уйдет.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Дайте мне адрес и деньги. Я же не должен свои тратить, долбоёб.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from
Прикинь, если бы тебя просили купить сигареты и не давали деньги, типа, слышь, сгоняй за сишкой, купи мне.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Ackroyd. I'm trusting your judgment on this.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
I don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reed. The only judge has to be yourself. The question is, are you judging yourself hard enough?
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Reads me like a book.
Falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswell.
Good evening, Doctor.
Я забыл. Не, нормально.
Goodbye.
Так, да, good evening, долбоёб.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then. Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mrs.
Don't waste your time with me.
Мне надо Пипу найти.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Так, блять, они же дали подсказку, что баба... Не понимаю. Типа она вымогала деньги, но с ней об этом поговорить нельзя. А с кем можно по этому поводу поговорить, как бы... Хуй знает, я понял. Вот это отражение, вот это кайф.
I will not let you down, my boy.
to you now.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me.
Бля, как к этому врачу хочу попасть.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir.
It's locked, all right.
I'm very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Здорово. Говорить будем? Будем.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself. How did you get this job? After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
A pawnbroker? I expect to get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I'm not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidama.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Ебать, это какая-то индийская мудрость.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Так, у него есть опиум и кадеин. И рецепт хуй знает чего. Надо запомнить.
I cannot enter.
Еще опыт. Его плохо, ну типа, ну да, понятно, должен быть трейд-офф, типа, если сожрать тоже ты не сможешь его. то? Она же внизу.
It's locked, all right. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Заебись. Я понял, убегаем. Понял, бежать нельзя. Мне что-то подсказывает, что я нахуй брошу эту игру. Ой. Да, как туда попасть нахуй? Что ты там? Что ты изучаешь? А. Да не, ну просто палочки не буду. Тоже не буду. Что? Надо. Блять, да куда нахуй идти? Оружие и... как его используют?
I cannot enter.
Подожди, вот тут еще что-то.
It's locked.
Прикол, надо ключ найти. Доктор... Ой. Короче, хуйло без лица. Где он? Находим хуйло без лица. Ебать, за него 8500 дают.
Good evening, Mr. Albert.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here, just be forgotten.
Подсказка не сработала.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Albert.
Подсказка не сработала. Кайф. Вот это игрулька. Подсказка не сработала.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Блять, у тебя раковина нахуй стоит. Возьми какую-нибудь, блять, бутылку с сана. Needs water. Да ёбаный твой рот, блять. Пиздец, нахуй. Раствор гипохлорита натрия. Естественно. А есть где-то, где нужна большая бутылка?
is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Почему он перестал болтать? Ну, хуй с ним, короче. Так, качаем укусы. Конечно же. Уровень 6 необходимо. Понимаю. Организм. Увеличивает запас здоровья. А, выносливость это пизда. Ну, я больше ничего увеличить как бы не могу. Ладно. Ок. Еще кино покажет. Да.
My research is complete. I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst